Hi everyone. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm just doing a follow-up video to my prayer closet, as you can see back in here again, video. So this would be, I don't want to call it part two, but maybe I should. Anyway, I had two questions asked of me, so I was going to answer those questions. The first question is, the person wanted to know about what the post-it notes were for, and then a friend of mine asked, what would I do if I didn't have a prayer closet? Excuse me. And if there was another way that they could do that, do a prayer area or whatnot. I'll answer that one first because it's the easiest. Before I turned this into my prayer closet, it was my closet with shoes and filled up with everything. But initially, I started my prayer closet. Well, it wasn't a prayer closet. I started with the post-it notes on my mirror, our dresser mirror. And I just started sticking the notes, the post-it notes with the different things on it on the mirror. And I had a chair in that corner. And so what I would do is in the morning, early in the morning, I would just sit in that chair. It was in a corner, and I started the post-it notes down the wall alongside the dresser, the wall, and position my chair so that I could read them. And I would stack my Bible and whatever devotionals and what have you, whatever reading material that I had, I would put it there along with my pen and my prayer journal. So all that to say, you don't necessarily need a closet per se, but you can have a corner. Another thing that I was thinking of is if you, in your bedroom, you generally have the side where your nightstand is. When you get out the bed, roll out the bed to say your prayers or what have you, make that corner where you would normally kneel down onto the floor, that low area, so you know, if your kids open your bedroom door, they still wouldn't see it, and all of your post-its and prayers and whatnot are along the wall at the bottom, so when you sit down on the floor or what have you, you can still read all of your prayers and things like that. And you could also put cushions and things on the floor instead of a chair. That way you're lower to the floor. You can have everything right there in the corner. As I said, you don't have to have a closet in order to have a prayer room, war room per se. Just make wherever it is that you feel most comfortable praying, wherever it's private for you. Even it can be outside of your room. It could be your office, a corner of your office. It could be just wherever. There's no place. There's, you know, I mean, I prefer a door most times. My door is generally closed when I'm in here in the morning, unless it, you know, for whatever reason. I mean, I prefer it closed. That way, when it's closed, my family knows that I'm in here. They see the light on, and so they don't bother me at all until I come out, which is a good thing. So to answer that question, you can be anywhere you want to be. You can set up any area, so long as it works best for you, and that you can be in that little tiny area or that little area or what have you, and get everything you need out of that area. The second question that I was going to cover are, why do I have the post-its? Okay, so on my post-it notes, I'm going to close my door a little bit here so you can see. So on my post-its, what I have so I'll just give you a little backstory really quick. So beforehand, before I started a prayer closet and what have you, I always had a morning routine, but it generally just included writing in my prayer journal, reading my devotional, doing some lessons as in like one of these I would have like Beautiful in God's Eyes, and this is would be the workbook, so I would do things out of here. And this is one of my favorite authors, by the way, Elizabeth George. That's my favorite devotional here, God's Amazing Grace. So anyway, so that's what I would generally do, and it was kind of becoming a routine. And it you know, and I'm a recovering worry addict, and I know many of you out there are, and I think I was just totally not addicted to worrying, because I think that, you know, no one wants to worry, but I generally worried quite a bit. And so, you know, when, like I said, when a friend preached a sermon a couple of months ago and talked about you can't trust in what you don't know, I realized then that that was so true. So I've been studying all of my life, really, but did I really know and what I was, did I really trust in what I knew, and did I know what I was trusting in? And I don't believe that I did fully, in the way that I should have. And so I started on a journey of just completely changing my whole morning routine of worship as usual, and just started to, on the Post-it note, I would write, as I studied my Bible, I would find a scripture, and I would write that scripture down, whatever scripture was speaking to me that at that moment. I will write the scripture down on my Post-it note, stick it wherever, and study that, and just break the entire verse down until I completely and understood it more than just in a general sort of God is love way. And I say that because it's right here, and I was talking about that this morning. 1 John 4:8. I was talking to, saying to my daughter about God is love, and I was saying, if you just take that one scripture and you could just say it generally, God is love, but when you really kind of meditate on that and break it down and understand it, and to realize that what God is really saying to us and to our hearts, that He is love. So love in and of itself is God, because God is love. And so, you know, my daughter, she was saying, oh, I get it. And I was like, yes. You know, it took me a while too to understand that. So having said all that, now you see the outgrowth of all of it. Every Post-it that you see is a verse, is a scripture, over here as well as over there, as I show in the previous video. And so each morning now, not only do I add a scripture to it, but I also read over the ones that are already here. And it's just very encouraging and enlightening, and I feel strengthened by it, and I feel enlightened and just closer to God by understanding His Word. And His Word is power. There's power in His Word, and I find that in this way I feel stronger as I face my day. And no matter what I'm facing, I'm able to face it with those scriptures in mind. And because I've sat down and read them, and instead of being so regimented, now I just study that scripture. And like I said before, sometimes I'll listen to a sermon and the scripture will jump out at me during that sermon, or I'll read a devotional, and then a scripture will come. I'll see a scripture there and I'll think, wow, that's a really good one. I think, do I have a favorite one of late? Let me see. Oh yes, so it would Oh, I forgot to write down where that one came from, but it's hard to choose. I think they're all really wonderful. Anyway, I would love to hear which scripture might be your favorite or what have you. I'm still looking for mine. They're all my favorite, really. Just trying to figure out which one stands out to me. I have a favorite, I have several favorite quotes, but, is it, okay, let me see. Oh, well, I know one. This, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. That's one that I always repeat to myself. And another one is, we know all things work together for good. So all things, including everything that's happening to us that day, and knowing that things aren't happening to me, they're happening for me. So that's a little Joel Osteen quote for you. Anyway, but don't want to keep you long. I just wanted to say stay encouraged. As I said before, put down in the comment section below, leave your favorite scripture. I would like to know. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more postings of prayer closets or war rooms or whatever the name is, or war corners or prayer corners. Anyway, as I said before, stay encouraged. God bless. And thank you for watching. Bye.